Filmmakers Legal Clinic presents Making Your Film, Contracts and Agreements. Contracts are critical to filmmaking. They protect your idea and ensure a smooth process when it's time to sell your film. Let's look at key contracts and terms you need to be familiar with as you plan your production. Few filmmakers can finance their own productions. If you crowdfund, approach investors, or borrow from friends and family, you'll want to use an investor agreement to detail the amount, repayment terms, and allocation of risk. If you acquire the rights to a story in order to make your film, the rights agreement will outline the specific terms, including what is being sold or optioned: a script, a book, a play, a short story, the pricing structure, and how it can and cannot be used. If you want to give a potential purchaser some time to review your project while preventing others from buying it, you may enter into an option agreement. Your film is essentially being rented. It's off the market while your buyer decides whether they want to fully commit. If the purchaser passes, you're free to shop your project elsewhere. If the purchaser wants to obtain rights from you, you may enter into a rights purchase agreement. Now it's time to make your film. More contracts! Production and post-production agreements outline the rights and responsibilities of every person on your film, from the director, cinematographer, and producer to the key grip and caterer. All crew members should sign a deal memo, an agreement that outlines compensation and services to be provided, with all the relevant terms and conditions, and defines your and their rights and responsibilities in the project. Depending on where you film, you may need location agreements that stipulate when you can use a specific venue and what, if any, rules must be followed. Unless you are using music in the public domain, any song or composition in your film must be either properly licensed or commissioned. If you are using existing music, you'll need permission via a licensing agreement. If you are hiring artists to make new music for your film, you'll need a composer agreement. With all contracts, you will need to consider timing, how long the contract runs and when it is completed, rights, who owns the copyright in the finished work, compensation, how much each person will get paid, credits, how each person will be credited, and much more. Contracts will also specify what happens when someone cannot hold up their end of the agreement or cannot perform on the contract. For example, termination clauses may allow the agreement to be terminated or ended upon certain action by a party or the occurrence of certain events which may give the other party the right to terminate. A force majeure or act of God clause similarly may call for the end of a contract, but no blame is attributed. In this case, the occurrence was external, like a global pandemic. Indeed, many lessons were learned from non-performance of contracts during the COVID pandemic, and you should make sure you consider this in future contracts. The best agreements are very specific and iron out even seemingly mundane details. These might appear irrelevant now, but questions are sure to emerge. Is the contract effective upon signing or when a key production milestone is reached? Will payments be made at the end of the project or incrementally at key inflection points? Who exactly are the parties? Answering these questions are key to keeping your film on track. Ready to learn more?